In Egypt, where similar protests toppled President Hosni Mubarak earlier this year, the army today turned on civilian demonstrators who once saw the military as their allies. Pizzey has the latest.
Any hope Egypt's military would hand over power ahead of its own schedule were dashed in a second day of violence that has left at least 9 dead and hundreds wounded. Soldiers smashed a camp in Tahrir Square and reportedly fired live ammunition on demonstrators demanding that the military step down immediately. The violence kicked off yesterday when a small mob tried to break into the cabinet building. And it was the army, the institution that had been seen as a savior of the revolution to bring democracy to Egypt, which came out to crush the protests. Footage from the streets, including amateur video and even some taken by an Egyptian television station, showed them acting the way the police had done when the revolt began back in January. The brutal response prompted a civilian advisory panel created to work with the security forces to suspend its work in protest. The army even took a page from their opponent's playbook. These pictures show what protesters said were soldiers hurling stones and pieces of concrete from rooftops onto the crowds in the street below. But the youthful militants seem to have an endless capacity to improvise and adapt, and show no sign of relenting in their demand that the military hand over to full civilian rule immediately. Pizzey, CBS News, London.